18 to 37-year-olds are the most frequent viewers of live stream video in the US. 52% of live video viewers stream content through social media. Video streaming accounted for nearly half of all downstream internet traffic. What does it all mean? Let's find out on the Why I Go Live podcast with Coach Kirk.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, we are back. Episode number 4, season 2 of the Why I Go Live podcast. I'm super excited for this one. It's kind of be a hybrid episode where we're actually pulling some creator stories, some streamer stories from a recent live show I had where I posed the question to them. Why do you go live? And one person in particular was very, let's just say they had a lot to share. I'm going to allow you to read what they posted in just a second. But before we do that, I want to say a word of welcome to all of you as you've been making your way through the content, as you've been listening through to the podcast. We are excited to have you on this journey. And we hope that something that you've heard along the way inspires you. It triggers something inside of you. It motivates you to get into your own zone and leverage the power of a live video for your purposes, for your goals, to be successful. We're excited about that. Now, I do want to make sure we get you some stats. Now, did you know that church services rose in streaming minutes by 40% in the first 6 months of the pandemic? Think about that for a second. This is just between March to August of 2020. And this stat is from Uscreen. And I can also tell you that this number has not gone down since that time. Now, it hasn't risen that fast. It hasn't been on that same trajectory, but that number has never dipped below that mark that it went up to. So what that means is this is a sustained increase over the past 3-4 years. Next stat we have is live streaming e-commerce is the fastest growing internet sector in China, with 309 million, or roughly a third of China's internet users tuning in. This is from KR Asia. That's a news outfit there. China is literally on the cutting edge of live shopping and the live shopping experiences. And so we're excited to be able to share some of that because we believe that those trends are going to make their way here to the United States as well. Last stat for you guys is that over a quarter of music fans in the United States and the UK reported that they'd be interested in seeing more music events, particularly DJ sets, broadcasted live. That's pretty good. That is great. GWI Research shares that one. And I think these are stats that we want to sink our teeth into. These are stats that we can absolutely utilize for ourselves. These are stats that we can gain insight and perspective on why this live streaming thing is so big. Why this live streaming thing is taking off like wildfire. And of course, one of the things that we seek to do here on the Why I Go Live podcast is to help you to understand what that value proposition is. Why are so many people turning to live streaming? And so, as I shared during my last show, I had a opportunity to just kind of pose the question to the audience. Put it out there and said, so tell me, why do you go live? And they came back with their actual why, which isn't exactly what I'm looking for, right? Your why is why you do the things that you do, right? It motivates you, it inspires you. It's that core, immovable thing that you can look back to and say, this is why I'm doing it. And so that was good. So I had to kind of further clarify, there's so many different ways to get your message out there, so many ways to accomplish the task that you feel called or led or purposed to do. Why are you using live streaming? You could do this in many ways. If you're a business owner, you're a coach, author, consultant, there's so many different ways that you could get your message out there. There's so many ways that you can begin to funnel clients to your business. There's other ways to be able to do this. Why are you using live streaming? And Just Tornado is the person that I was getting these comments from. And so Just Tornado shared that live streaming helps her to reach those introverts who aren't comfortable going into group settings. I was blown away by this. I was blown away by this. I had not heard this answer before. A whole season and a half of the Why I Go Live podcast, and this had not come up before, but I love it. This is exactly what this podcast is all about. Justin Renato says, this is one of the reasons there are introverts. And it just clicked in my head. I'm like, that's absolutely golden, because even as you're streaming to thousands, hundreds, maybe even, 50, 60, or even if you're just streaming to 10, you can look at the camera and have that moment with the person on the other end as if it's just the two of you, as if it's just a personal video call between you and them. That is the power of live streaming. That is so super awesome. And it is a perfect environment for introverts to not, I don't have to feel, any kind of anxiety or trepidation about raising my hand or putting a comment in the chat, because that is what it's all there for. And you can learn in an environment that is tailored to you. This, my friends, is a really dope answer. And I'm so glad that Just Tornado was with us for this particular show, because she also went on to say that live streaming has allowed her to build a community of introverts and individuals seeking healing from church hurt. And that's so awesome. In fact, let me know in the comments if you want to hear more of Just Tornado's story, because I'm actually thinking about having her come on to the Why I Go Live podcast as a in-person guest instead of just having her comments. But here's the thing that I pulled from this one. Grow and engage a specific audience. Have you ever heard me say that? Live streaming can help you to grow and engage a particular audience. And here's the critical piece about this. When you're live, there's something that comes across, a level of credibility and authenticity that cannot be faked. It simply cannot be manufactured. You cannot will it into existence. Even if you were going to put on a front for a little while, you're not going to be able to do that for an hour-long live show. And so when Just Tornado, or in any of these instances, depending on what your target audience is and your topic and your niche is, when you're doing a live show and you're talking about something that is a passion project for you, but also something that has touched your life in a very real way, as it has for Just Tornado, somebody who has dealt with church hurt and is also an introvert. Essentially, she's kind of showcasing her own profile, and those are the people that she wants to deal with. But live streaming gives her credibility and authenticity, which is why her audience is growing, which is why they are coming. And because they're introverted and they get that direct connection, if you will, to the speaker, to their host, to their guide on this journey, it's growing like wildfire. And that is simply amazing. Okay. She went on to say, finally, this was the last message she said, it also can alleviate editing, and I can focus on the next live stream. She said live. Through live streaming, I've been able to connect with people from all over the world, offering them support and a sense of belonging. Now, let's break this down, because she said a lot in this last post. Repeat. All right. It's a repeat of I shouldn't say every, but a lot of the other people have said, I don't want to edit video. This live streaming thing enabled me to do this entire experience without having to edit video. I can tell you right now, I'm doing this podcast. The season 2 of this podcast has been completely live to drive. And so all the things that you see, the things that are coming up on screen, the graphics that comes down with the stats, the moving from one scene to the next, the pull-ins, the pull-outs, the triple cameras, all of that is being done here in the system as if I was live. And so this is a major benefit. Don't want to gloss over this. There's no reason. In fact, as we were talking during the live show, I was saying to Just Tornado, you can treat your content, your produced content, as if it was live, and you can produce your shows as if it was edited. So this is a major piece. I don't want to miss that. I know we've touched on it before, but Live streaming alleviates that pressure to edit. And in her case, she said it allows her to focus on the next live stream, putting that much more effort and energy and intentionality into the experience to ensure that her audience members get what they came for, which is pretty awesome. The next thing I want to share here, based on this last statement from Just Tornado, is that you can serve at scale. She's talked about touching lives from literally all over the globe, all over the world. You just never know who's searching. You just never know who's going to be looking at your content. You just never know who's going to come across it. And because it's live, they can connect in. I have a t-shirt that says live streaming is a little glimpse of omnipresence. And I got to bring that t-shirt back out. I got to make sure that we have that t-shirt for sale again, because the honest truth is people are literally connecting into a moment while you are live from literally all over the globe. All over the globe. Some of them it's nighttime, some of them it's morning time, for some of them it's in the middle of the night, for some of them they're on their way to school, they're in the car, they're on the bus, they're on their commute, for some of them they're actually sitting in class. There is no limit to the type of people and where your content will find them. And what connects them is the fact that you, on camera, you're live and you can serve them at scale. Same content, same principles, best practices, same hacks, same tips and tricks that you would have shared one-on-one. You can share them once and have it serve so many people. That's a major, major piece of live streaming. And the last one is a personal favorite of mine. People think that these connections that we make when we're live, when we're streaming, they are not real. That they aren't, that they're surface level. It's like you couldn't really know that person because you've never met them before. Well, I can tell you, having been in this game for about 5 years now and having the awesome privilege to meet several of my audience members who I have never met before going live, I've had the opportunity to see them in person and touch them and hug them and shake their hands. This is absolutely untrue. You foster very real, very deep relationships because there's something about being your authentic self while live that allows people a window into who you really are. There's something that happens while live where people are asking questions because it feels like it's one-on-one, because maybe they don't know some of the other people in the chat. And there's a sense of, I'm a little more free here to be able to share from a real place, especially if the host is being real and open and honest and transparent and vulnerable. Some of the things that I shared with you guys about how to be successful in these creator spaces. This is something I know to be true, is that live streaming helps to foster real and deep relationships. These are just a couple of things that we pulled from a live stream. There were at least 5 or 6 others in that particular show that were sharing with us all kinds of reasons why they go live. I just decided to kind of focus in on Just Tornado. And again, let us know in the comment section whether or not you want us to have her come on the show and let her share a little bit more in depth some of her own story and why she goes live. But I hope that you are able to put those puzzle pieces together. Hope that you're able to kind of connect the dots and peek behind the little veil a little bit so that you can see how it all works, but also you can see some of the reasons why your colleagues, some of the people that you follow, some of the people that you know and love and trust are going live. And I hope that you get a chance to try out going live too. Well, fam, listen, we're well on our way. In the next episode, I'm hoping, I don't know if she's going to do it, but I'm hoping we can get my co-host for the Incubators Couch live show. Also my partner in crime, my boss of the CEO of Composition LLC. That is my wife, Kanique Mighty Nugent. I'm hoping I can get her to come on for the next podcast episode. But I'll say this as we get ready to close it out, because I have to say it. Your live stream is quite literally your digital storefront. Here at How It All Works, here at KirkRNugent.com, we want to be your resource center that helps you to take that step with confidence. Take that step with the tools that are necessary to skip over the mistakes that I made so that you can get right to the good part. You can get right into realizing the awesome and immense value that is available through the vehicle of live video. I'm so excited for this. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next audio stream.
Why I Go Live, hosted by Coach Kirk, is a composition production. Real streamers, honest stories, and incredible impact. Add your voice to the conversation. Go to kirkrnugent.live/member to join the community. And let's figure out how it all works.